Okay, so this is just a small showcase of how personally I would go about using Migaku. Okay, so just a disclaimer from post-production arc here. I'm pretty sure by the duration length of this video you can see that it is in fact not a small showcase of Migaku. I did not expect to rant this long within this video, so there are going to be some moments in where I kind of just yap, and particularly about the Chinese language quite a lot, so I'm just warning you ahead. If you get caught in one of those rants and it's not particularly relevant to you, I implore you to skip forward. I'm really sorry. I'll definitely get on top of like chapter markers and stuff in future with like editing. I still don't know how it works because I'm kind of new to YouTube, so forgive me for that. Please just skip forward if a certain rant that I'm going on does not resonate. Post-production arc out, I guess. And today I am using Chinese as an example. Chinese Peppa Pig, as you can see. I'm not sure if playing the audio is a good idea, just because maybe I might get copyright striked. I'm not even sure if having this photo up would subject me to that. So I don't know. I'm not taking any bets. If I decide to, which I'm still unsure about right now, I'll probably put in either the pinned comments or the top of the description to a link to like another website outside of YouTube where I'm going into more detail, just so I'm not risking my channel getting like copyright striked or anything, because I really don't know how it works. But so basically I'm using Migaku at the moment. This is why like the text, for example, is and I'll just mute just so the audio doesn't end up fucking me over in case I accidentally misclick. But so this is the interface of Migaku that I've set it up to be. Forgive my dog barking in the background if you can hear him. Basically, you'll download Migaku. I'm using Google Chrome. I'm not sure if it is applicable to any other web browser at the moment. So honestly, yeah, just use Google Chrome. It works for Language Reactor as well. And so once you've downloaded it on the Chrome Web Store, the little icon will come up in the top right. And so you can see I've selected Chinese for this specific video that I'm watching. I'm actually watching it on YouTube. Otherwise, if I was watching it on Netflix, it would just show up with a black screen. So that's something to keep in mind if you're trying to like record and then watch Netflix at the same time. That won't work. You need to turn like hardware acceleration or some shit off in the settings within Google. But that's a bit irrelevant. I'll get back onto the topic. So with Migaku at the moment, they have 10 different language support, and this is like the button that you'll click right up here to select the specific language that you'll be using. For now, I don't want to change that, just because if I do that, then what's going to happen is I'll have to reload, and I don't want like the images moving at the same time. Just once again, I'm trying to be careful with the whole copyright stuff. So yeah, basically you click up here to select the language of choice, and then you want to make sure to tick these two boxes. Well, they're not boxes, are they? Just tick these, toggle them on for when you're watching, because it just means that obviously image and audio capture will work, and then in your flashcards that you've created for like any of the words that you come across within this example, or within any like immersion session, you know, you can just add that immediately. Yeah, so pretty simple. Open Migaku extension window. I think that's for the flashcards, but when you automatically open Migaku, because you'll have to like press the button to open it and everything, it'll actually send you to this tab, and this will just be like, for me, I keep it on full screen in the background, and this is the card creator / dictionary, I guess. So you can search up a keyword, you can create a flashcard there, but for this current demonstration, I'm not going to do that. I'll just create a card from Peppa Pig. But so what you can see down here is that like I know these words already. I've actually marked them as known. So that's what happens is when you hover your mouse over this, over the different Hanzi in this example, because it's Chinese, you'll be able to see what it means. And it's usually best in this case to like scroll down and just look at what it means by itself. It'll have like the 5-star next to it if it's common. So this is a really important piece of vocabulary. Basically, if you're watching something on the level of Peppa Pig, mainly only important vocabulary will come up quite a lot. So Peppa has like her own intro and everything. 我是佩奇, that's what she says, but I'm not going to play her saying that. And then like, yeah, obviously you can hover your mouse over what in this example, and you get to see the pinging on top. I might as well show you some other stuff. So right now I actually have, this is like the, what's it called? The toolbar on the top, and I've just decided to pin. Yeah, I had to look at what it was because I forget the technical names for some of this shit. And what you can do is you can add the subtitle browser, which just has all this on the side, so you can skip to different subtitles across the show or movie that you're watching or anything. It's really convenient, but personally I like the extra screen real estate. These are all the keyboard shortcuts, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. This is just the general, and trust me, I don't worry about all of this. The most important ones to keep in mind though is Q for create a card and E send to card creator. So basically what you can do from this is I can press Q on what, but I'm not going to do that. I'll do that with like another example of what I don't know, because I already know what, and what it means I, what, shit, means is or to be. Yep, it tells you. Pe, or pe, qi, and that's how you say pepper, like in Chinese for some reason. Don't question it, and it's okay if you can't understand this. Obviously, you can just, like I still can't even read that because it's basically doesn't have any meaning outside of Peppa's name. Like I'll see these characters so many times that I basically know what they mean and I don't have to translate it, so that's why I've marked them as known. But that's what you can do, is you can actually mark the specific piece of vocabulary differently. And what I do to do that is you can either, I think the keyboard shortcuts outline that you can press 1, 2, 3 or 4 to just do different things. 1 to make it unknown, so say if I don't know this, I can mark it as unknown, but usually most of the things that you'll come across if you're just like starting out with this will just have that red underline and it'll just mean that it's unknown. If I hit 2, it's tracking the word, so basically I'll see like this little paw print underneath to know that maybe that's something to keep in mind. I still haven't created a flashcard, do note that I have not created a flashcard yet. 3 means to mark it as known, so yeah, you'd want to like hit this quite a lot if you were going, like for me, if I'm immersing in Mandarin, I'll probably hit number 3 for a lot of words, because I feel like I remember quite a lot of Mandarin even though I haven't studied it in a while. But yeah, that's something you'll be pressing a lot, maybe tracking. You won't be pressing unknown a lot, but it's like 1, 2, 3, and then 4 is to ignore. And what, if you're paying attention beforehand, I've actually marked this as unknown, just because it's a name. It's like I don't need to create a flashcard for Pei Qi. Like it's just, it's unnecessary. And same for Jiao Zhi. Like it's unnecessary. That's just George. But for all of this, you know, I'd create a flashcard. At this stage, though, I don't need to, because like I've just become so familiar with this that I can just read it as it is. And I literally only studied Mandarin for like a month, so it's crazy the progress that you can make just watching like fucking Peppa Pig. It's ridiculous. No other language acquisition method you try will just skyrocket your capacity to comprehend stuff like this, and particularly when it's closer to your level in the form of Peppa Pig. But if watching Chinese Peppa Pig sounds like fucking hell to you, don't do that. I did it, and for a while it was good, and then sometimes it got annoying. But then basically I'd go onto Netflix and watch some Chinese TV shows, and that would be more entertaining. Obviously, the level of vocabulary and the grammar concepts presented were a bit more difficult and above my level, but it's like I was enjoying the process. So that's the thing that you have to prioritize at the end of the day, is enjoyment over technicality, because theoretically you could be immersing and getting more out of this, but it's like if you're miserable, then it's like you're screwing the core the core concept of the entire method, which is it being enjoyable, you know, being more entertaining than going or feeling like you have to be forced onto going onto a language learning app or turning up to school classes or university classes just to be able to understand a language. It's like, this seems like something you should be doing once you're fluent, but it's like, no, this quite literally is how to gain fluency from day one, especially with Chinese. Chinese is probably the language in where you can just start. All you really need to know is that it's a tonal language and that it uses characters. Oh my god, scary hieroglyphics. Trust me, for me at least, it's not scary at all. Like, I thought it was at start, but you'll see this shit so many times that you do not, like, after a while, you don't even need to guess what it is, because you can just read it. And then, yeah, obviously, if you're creating flashcards every day, going over this stuff every day, in your reviews, you'll be able to know what it refers to. And I guess, like, it's kind of cheating, but I had 8 months of Japanese study in before starting to study Chinese, and I am able to read some characters, but there's like other characters like war only came up in ware, for example, in Japanese, which it would use this same hanzi, but it's like you wouldn't say ware to like refer to yourself. It's like a formal version of saying we. Anyways, so yeah, Didi, so that means younger brother. And if you're wondering like why there is like these colors and stuff, it might look a bit weird at start. You can actually adjust that in display options. I have this on, and then pinging, so I can actually select pinging for all the words, and you can read it like that. I actually never formally studied the sound of pinging, like through grammar videos and stuff. So at least from my like experience, I think it should be chill for you to just watch along, and even if you're not able to pronounce everything, just being able to hear it and see the ping and how it's written and understand over time. But that's specifically applicable only to Chinese in this case, and not Japanese. You wouldn't want to do that with Japanese. You'd probably want to know hiragana and maybe some or like all katakana before getting into immersion. It's just, you know, with Chinese, very simple. Chinese Mandarin, very simple. Joke, because it's simplified, but yeah, whatever. So yeah, I can change that. I don't need to have that over like all my words, so because I should be actually training my ability to read that as is, and without the pinging, because that's like next level shit, is like where you can just see the character and be able to say it. Like the fact of me being able to do that so soon into my acquisition journey with Mandarin was crazy to me. I was just like, how am I making this progress? It's actually crazy. Tone coloring is what I have on. It's why these like are the different colors, and I'd suggest just having it on at the start, because, or on hover, so it means that if you look at it, And I don't have it for the known words, but like for other stuff, it'll come up. But I just have it on. I don't know why, but for me, like I enjoy reading it like this. You might call me crazy, but it's just like, it helps connect a visual aid with how the tone sounds. So, for example, chu and shu are both like low tones, or is that even what it's called? I don't even know what it's actually specifically called, but it comes like straight down. Shit, like you hear that, and you know that might be hard to just think of like the tones and the different sounds that you can make. So I'll just like give this as a preface. You have like 4 main tones within Chinese. Shit, which can be like, I'll just use the sound of shit for an example. Shit, which is a flat tone. Shit, like it doesn't change. It kind of just stays in that really high level the whole time. Shit, shit, like that. Then we can go to like the low tone or the like directly falling tone, which is this shit. So it comes down. Shit, shit. Whereas the other one was shit, shit, like up there. Shit, which is the rising tone. Actually, what happens is it doesn't rise, it doesn't go shit, but it kind of just like goes down and then like kind of surfaces out about halfway through. If you're still having trouble with tones, probably watch like some other YouTube video explaining it on YouTube. I'm sure a Chinese speaker could explain it better, but it's just like I'm giving this brief. I don't even know why I'm talking about this, honestly. It's just interesting to me. So if it's not interesting, skip ahead. But yeah, so we have the flat tone, low tone, shoot, or shoot, which would be the rising tone. So it like kind of comes down. And the key to pronouncing this tone or hearing it is with the like, I don't know how to explain it. Like someone explained to me one time that it sounds like you have like a croaky voice when you're trying to pronounce it. So for example, what, like it has that sound. You can just be like what, and like you'll generally make the sound. You just have to have that croaky voice, like that. And you like that's the easiest tone for me to pronounce because all I think is pronouncing the thing in that croaky voice, and I can. So every time you see like the green, you'll be like, oh, okay, that's a rising tone, and it's marked like all the tones with the ping-ing are marked with like the like either the dot straight down, or the line straight down, the line that goes down and up above like the vowel. Once again, line straight down. This is a line that goes straight up over the vowel, and that's the last tone that I haven't covered, which would be shu. So actually, shu, oh, the sound was quite a good example because I think like you can use shu, like flat tone shu, with the example of lao shu, which means like teacher. Shit, which means to be and is. Like you'll see this fucking character come up so many times. Like don't even worry about it, and you'll be able to hear the difference in the sounds after a while, so don't stress about that. Shit, I don't know about that one actually. It might come and as soon as like I see it, if it actually is used in a word or character, like I'll be like, oh yeah, but like for now I don't remember. But shoot, which is the high tone, it like starts low, shoot, like that. I feel like that's the hardest tone for me to pronounce for some reason, but it just keeps rising. It's the rising tone. So just, yeah, visualize it like that. At least have that in mind when going into studying Mandarin. Shoot, like that. Shoot. That actually means 10, I believe. And you'll see that quite frequently as well, I think. So you might be like a bit stressed out about the whole tones. Honestly, don't stress out about it, because I got to like about 2-3 weeks into learning, And yeah, I guess if you're going to go outside and pronounce them and stuff, it can be a bit intimidating from person to person. For some reason though, at least for me, like it's not that stressful. So if you still have problems with tones and stuff, let me know about it in the in the comment section, and I could possibly make a video on that, just for like languages in general, specifically like Southeast Asian languages and the different tones that can be made. But yeah, so like I know all this stuff, so we'll skip ahead. You have like this introduction. For some reason, like every time I play it, like I remember every single word, and I like say it to myself. It's like, 我是佩奇，这是我的弟弟小智，这是我的妈妈，这是我的爸爸. Also, you might be seeing like there's this the, for example, it doesn't have a tone marker at all. Theoretically, this is like the no tone. I don't know how to explain it. So it's like the unofficial fifth tone of the language. I don't know how specifically to remember this. It just has like a shorter sound, I think. So it just kind of falls off. It's like duh. It doesn't go like duh, like comes straight down. It's just like duh, duh, you know? You'll get used to it with like other words. So this is ba, 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 you know? You won't be like screaming, ba, ba, but like, yeah, that means dad. So what you can do if like you want, actually, I might as well just make a flashcard from this. So, 这是我的, and say, I don't know, Baba. So I'm like, oh shit, what is it? Oh, well, this is perfect. And this is what Migaku does as well, is if like you have an N+1 sentence and where you know everything except for this, it'll like mark it with like this background and stuff, and then it'll show the stars on the bottom saying how frequent it is, like just the frequency and if it's like worth learning basically. But yeah, I'll hit Q for this and it'll just record that, and then it'll send it to the card creator. Okay, so I want to pause this because once again I don't want to get fucked over by but maybe I've already been fucked over. I guess I'll see because I don't know how it works. But basically I press Q and it sent that to the card creator, and then I can come across that later. I don't think I need like any more introduction with like the interface. You'll just be able to get to, you know how to use it for yourself. It's just having that experience. That's the general outline though. It's like going through 午餐, like, oh my god, that means lunch, so I'll make a flashcard of it. Oh shit. 祝爸爸和祝妈妈带佩奇和教具. Am I even pronouncing that right? I don't know, but yeah. Oh, also another thing that I haven't brought up yet. I'm so bad at this. Here's where the subtitles are, and specifically if you're on YouTube, you'll want to make sure that you're selecting this, because if I select China, it'll come up with like 3 different subtitles. It'll have like the fucking Pinyin on the top, and then it'll have English for like, it's really weird. So if you can, just like, if there's an option, just choose simplified, and you basically just get this. And then for secondary subtitles, which is English, like I have this on hover mode because I don't need, like, the whole point of this for me is because I comprehend a lot of this. I can just watch it in Chinese and I don't have to worry about seeing the translation in English. And if I do want to, it's like I can hover down here and it's like, oh, easy. But like, say you're struggling at first, you'd probably want that on always. Or if there are unknown words, that's also a good one, because it just means, yeah, every time you come across a new sentence that doesn't have a known word, it's like it can present that. But yeah, I just have it on hover for now. You can adjust the subtitle size like that. Real chill. I don't fuck around with any of this shit. Translator, I also don't screw around with that, but you can write stuff in there. Generate subtitles. That's only if like the video doesn't have subtitles. Also, one thing I want to cover is, like, particularly with this channel, for example, I'll probably link them in the description. from most of the videos that I watch, they'll provide subtitles, and that's necessary for Migaku. So if you're just watching something on YouTube and it doesn't have subtitle support, Migaku won't work. So what you do, I'll unpin this for a second just so I can go into another YouTube tab. Okay, go away, please. I'll search up Chinese Peppa Pig with Chinese subtitles, and it'll probably come with English subtitles as well. And what you can do to make sure that it has subtitles for sure is to select this under the filter feature, and it'll come up. Usually with this channel it'll be pretty good, but like I think I tried to watch this and like it didn't have the simplified Chinese, so then it was just like really annoying to watch it with like those 3 different subtitles that I said. I don't want to like show that, but yeah, basically if you're learning Chinese, make sure that you select the, where is it? The Chinese in brackets simplified option for like basically anything you're watching. So that way it's just nice and simple. Okay, I'm not playing this. But yeah. Anyways, so I'll get onto the actual flashcard component of everything now. How do I do that? So I'll just go to the Migaku extension, memory. So you click on that, memory, and it'll open up a new tab. Loading. Yep, make sure it's on Mandarin, you know, I have for Japanese, and like all these other languages as well. You can see I jump around a little bit, but honestly I definitely could have a bit more. And then what'll come up here, actually I'll just turn the volume all the way down because I don't want the audio coming through. But if I do have the audio, it'll be really helpful. So yeah, this is how the flashcards come up, and they'll like show up by default here. And what you can do is like you can edit the different study settings for the flashcard as well. If you're just looking, honestly, just to like save screwing around with extra stuff, just copy the settings that I'm presenting on screen right here. They seem to like just work for me better. And if you ever like have a problem, you know, you can just tweak it. This is also really important, I think. And yeah, so just have this, and when you automatically make a card, I forget what it is. Is it on this one? How does it work? Audio sentence. I'm not sure how it works, but basically like if you create, if you create like a new word, you can make it into, you can make it into a different type of card. I don't know how to explain it. So like here's all my cards. What I can do is select all, if it allows me, how to select all. Yep, select all. I can change the type of card. And the best card I think that I'm using at the moment is audio sentence cards. So what will happen is, given the settings that I just presented before, it'll come up exactly the way that I'm showing it on the flashcards here. So it'll have the word, it'll have the sentence here, and I've just customized it to like on hover to see the tones, because sometimes I won't need to. Sometimes I'll just be able to read it and be like, oh, well, that's that. Le shama na, is that right? Na. Le shama na. Le, I think means happy, or like happiness. So he's like, what are you happy for, or something. And even this is without the audio. See, this is just like the format of the back of the card. As soon as like I click, it'll reveal the rest of the card. It'll tell me what it is. If I got it wrong, I'd hit that. Don't get mad at yourself if you get shit wrong. You know, you're just informing the database, whether you know or you don't. and it'll cater like when that flashcard will show up again, just so like you can recall it. And also one thing, that if you're going through flashcards and certain words don't seem relevant, you know, you can always just delete them. It's a bit more intuitive with Language Reactor, with Anki, because you can just like bury the flashcard, you can suspend it. If you don't want to see that shit anymore, then you can delete it. And then when you will import stuff again, it'll like refresh with a new card and stuff if you've tinkered with that on the database. It's a bit deep. I'll probably, if I end up like, because I'm planning on actually doing language like acquisition coaching in the future, when I'm coaching like multiple people and I decide to like make a course on language acquisition, I'll probably go deeper into the functionality behind Migaku and Language Reactor specifically, just depending on like if you are studying a niche language or a like more general language, which I think Migaku covers about 90% of you. If you wanted to study a new language, it'd be likely that you'd choose between the languages presented. Plus, I mean, Arabic and like those languages are pretty big, so I don't know why Migaku doesn't have support right now, but I think they will in the next year, so stay tuned for that. Or at least I'll be staying tuned for that, because it'd be kind of cool to screw around with Arabic or Russian at one stage. With this interface, it's really chill. But yeah, so this is what is auto-generated. All I did, by the way, to make this flashcard specifically was press the letter Q on my keyboard. If you want to tinker a word more, sorry, I will go back. Say I want to tinker die. What I can do is press E, and it'll like replay that just so it can capture the audio. You haven't heard the audio so far, once again, because I don't want to get fucking copyright striked. Or maybe I already will. Fuck, I don't know. And like it'll say all these different definitions of what it is, but within the context, I'm pretty sure it means bring. But basically what it did when I press E was it sent it to the card creator, and then I can choose if I want to create it as a card. This is just all the information presented, like it has the word audio spoken by someone, like a fluent / native speaker, sentence audio, you know, straight from the show or movie or whatever you're immersing in. Just all this shit in the press of a button is crazy. And yeah, you can select create card here, but the faster route is to just press Q and it'll auto do all that, and you don't have to worry about it. I'd say like I haven't needed to tune with it that much and then like add more on top, because it already adds enough. Maybe if you like, they have this feature where what is it, actually I haven't shown this yet, but like you can actually select this, choose to like listen to different pronunciations of it, the images associated, like it'll just auto generate this shit. It's super cool, super intuitive. Language Reactor doesn't present this, but like this is a unique Migaku feature. And it's pretty chill. Gives different examples. This is ChatGPT, basically linked with Migaku, giving a bit more of a explanation of the word and context, if you need help with that. Honestly though, if like you need help with an advanced / nuanced word, I'd highly suggest to just watch a video about it rather than try and just get all your information from ChatGPT. However, it can be helpful. Sentence breakdown explains what it is, translates it. What's this? Yeah, I haven't used these features, honestly. I'll just, you know, be immersing and I'll press Q and send this shit to the card creator, and then it'll do it automatically, and it's within the database. Card settings. I don't think I've screwed around with this before. I think it just does this stuff, but like you can toggle this if you want that automatically pre-filled as well. It's like this is just enough for me anyway, and it will be enough for like 90% of you guys, unless you just want more shit. and I have it configured to Migaku memory because I don't want to import it to Anki. That's just my personal preference, and I'd suggest maybe you do the same. I can go onto my recently created, because I already know what Baba is, like I don't need that flashcard, so I'll just delete it now. But I think I can check it out. Actually, no, not from here. But like if it came up in like my new set of flashcards for review, I'd be able to see it. But this is like flashcards for review. I don't know why these flashcards are showing up, because these flashcards are like really old. But I still remember what this means. La, which means happy. Happiness is like, yo, what are you happy? What are you smiling about? And I could play the audio, but like I think it's self-explanatory. Actually, I'll just turn the audio on so you can hear it for a second. That's the audio of the sentence. And then that's the word audio that comes auto-filled as well. I can give like another example. I've obviously passed that. Shu, so that's flat tone again. It'll have like the red to indicate that. Shu shu, which means uncle, I think. Or like you'd say that to like an older man than you, I'm pretty sure. But trust me, like you're not trying to compare this shit to English. When you're immersing in the language, you'll be able to very easily spot the difference with this stuff. And if you need more explanation, once again, it's really effective to just search up about it if you have any inquiries. The internet is your friend, and particularly YouTube is your friend with that, because it's like native speakers who can speak English and understand the differences between both Mandarin Chinese and then English, for example, will be able to just say, okay, well, you wouldn't use this in this way in English, even though that's translation, all this shit. Like, look, that means uncle, but you probably wouldn't go down the street and speaking English, calling like every slightly like middle-aged, say for me, it is like if I called a middle-aged man in context of my age, you know, I'm 19, if I called like a middle-aged man around maybe over 30 or around 40, I could call him shu shu, but I wouldn't call him uncle in the context of English. It would probably just be a bit weird unless you already have that personal connection with that person. If you called like a stranger on the street, that shit, it'd be like weird, but I don't think it's the same in Chinese culture. At least from what I've learned, you know, and I've just acquired this over watching this. I haven't needed it to be explained. Also, it's kind of a trend with other Southeast Asian languages. Like, for example, my boss at work, who is a middle-aged Vietnamese man, I call him Chu, which means uncle. So it's basically like the Vietnamese equivalent of shu shu. Actually, it doesn't sound exactly the same, but you can kind of see the connection between like the logical nuance behind each word kind of like carries on throughout certain, not with like every culture, not with every language, but particularly within like Southeast Asia, for example. Like Chinese does influence a lot of the languages. Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese, Thai, like all these languages are fundamentally influenced to some extent by Chinese, and then vice versa with each other to some extent, but you know, they're their own separate languages. Bit of a side rant though. But like, yep, shu shu. She's like saying hello uncle, or yeah, hello. And that's his name, but like she didn't say Guo. I think that's Guo. I don't know how you pronounce bro's name, but see, that's the English translations. You can't trust in them all the time, but they give extra context just in case you're confused. So this is from... Okay, no, the fucking audio is going to be really annoying. I'm just going to turn that off because, like, for some reason that recorded, like, the longest fucking audio for no reason. It was so annoying. Yeah, nah. I still can't really explain this. This is one of the more nuanced words, so if you see the translation, you'll be like, what the fuck? But, like, it's like, I see, or, like, it seems like, even though if you're reading both of these and you know lai means to come, I don't know what yuan means, yuan lai. It's like, oh, I see Daddy Pig has fixed, and dian nao means computer. I think "ba" means to fix. Or maybe "shi," how do you... I don't know how to pronounce that, actually. I think that might mean fix. Yeah, that means to repair. What does that mean? Okay. Yeah. I can't explain that word and its use case, but...
原来猪爸爸
Yeah,
把
so
电
this
脑
is the
修
back
好
of the
了。
card. See, the translation's different from what I said. Okay, so this is post-production arc here, and this whole segment ended up getting washed out by the audio for some reason. I don't know why Migaku recorded such a long section of audio. It was completely unnecessary. I'm assuming it, like, the sentence just didn't stop in that particular example until, like, literally there was chickens fucking chirping. It was so annoying. But this whole segment where I'm on the flashcards, I kind of do yap quite a lot, so feel free to skip forward once I'm outside of the card creator and you'll probably get more interesting commentary. However, you know, if you still want to hear me yap, I guess feel free to stay within this section. Another flashcard example. 当年. I don't know how to explain this. You see, sometimes I don't want to explain this stuff in the context of English. Like, you'll just get so immersed in the language where you understand in the context of the language, but you just don't want to explain it or translate it. Basically, this means, like, I think it means that year or those years. Yeah, in those days, those years.
当年
Yeah, let's just say that generally means that. 当 and 年 means year or years. That's one thing in a lot of Southeast Asian languages, particularly. There's not that much emphasis on, like, plural, so it can mean year, years, whatever. Yeah, okay, so I don't need to showcase any more flashcards. I could have played the audio for that as well. I know that shit.
有没有？
I think this is 这里, which just means where, I think.
这里
Not
有没
here.
有？
Okay, see, I got that
这
wrong.
里
I can fail that. I was close, but I can fail that, and that basically just means that the card will come up sooner next time, so I don't forget it. You know, it's working for you, not against you. It's not giving you more work for no reason. So I think that's generally everything I need to go over. I've gone over, like, the icon, or in specific where it comes up. Oh, why am I so bad at this? Yeah, where it specifically comes up in the Google Chrome. Like, you'd have to pin this for it to be here, by the way, if you have, like, other extensions. But, yeah, so it's right there if you've pinned it, or you can, you know, change where it needs to be, whatever, according to your preference. Basically, you know, like, you'll only really need to use this to set it up. You don't have to obsess over these other... Like, I've never touched this shit before. You can pin this if you want. Sometimes it gets a bit annoying for me, so I don't touch it. And I'll just let it go away. But that can help for, like, understanding and configuring certain settings there. If you're confused and just want something similar to me, just, like, play through the video and copy the settings when, like, I'm showing them. Because, yeah, I definitely could have gone a bit more into detail about every specific setting, but, like, this just works for me. You know, I've used this for quite a while, not only with Chinese, but also with Japanese, and these are the general settings that have seemed to stick over the course of almost a year now, which is kind of crazy. A year of using Migaku, oh my goodness. But, yeah, so subtitle support, you know, how I have, like, this hover feature and all that, and it helps me. And then card creation, and then flashcards per se. So, yeah, I think that's all I really have to show today. I hope it helped if any of you guys were curious. I know one person particularly pointed out and wanted a bit of assistance, so I hope to you watching that this assists. And yeah, if you got any more questions, leave them in the comments section. I'm sure to address them, because I want to keep making content that helps get you guys on the right journey with your language acquisition, no matter what language you choose to study. I just want you to be enjoying the process. You know, if you have a desire to learn a language, I'm assuming you don't want it to be a grueling and just mind-bogglingly difficult task to undergo for the time that it takes in order to reach fluency, or like whatever goal, you know, you have with language. You probably wouldn't want it to be unnecessarily uninteresting, unenjoyable, just difficult. And I personally, from my experience with going back and forth between a lot of methods within the last, I guess, 6 to 7 years of my life, outside of, you know, being within the school system and learning Japanese from that. Like, outside of that, I didn't have any interest in language until, I think, yeah, it was about 7 or 8 years ago with German, and then I started trying to look into that via Duolingo and all these other apps. It's like, I've been there, I've done that, it's not helped. After all that time, and particularly in the last year or two, going through more methods of study, basically 2 years at this point of like actively trying to find a way this works for me. And when I go back to studying Chinese, I'll study Chinese in this exact way. I'll make sure to prioritize. This is the best thing you can do, is to just prioritize enjoyment with it. Even if you have to have dual subtitles up like all the time and shit for a while, so long as you're, you know, just getting exposure to this and you're enjoying it, you will be able to acquire the information. Especially if you're watching something like fucking Peppa Pig, bro. Like, you will acquire this shit really fast. I guess then, like, in the future, going off of that, you probably wouldn't want to watch this content because you wouldn't be learning that much on top of that or acquiring too much new information. You would be strengthening the foundation of other words that you know, which is really good. But it's like, I'm sure you guys don't want to be stuck in like a hole watching Peppa Pig for like the rest of your Chinese language acquisition journey, if you decide to learn Chinese or whatever language really in Peppa Pig. I'm sure that's not the be-all end-all with immersion content. So yeah, obviously you have the power to go on to like something like Netflix. For Migaku, you can go on to even Disney Plus, and Rakuten Viki. That's the other thing. I think it shows up here. It'll say, yeah, so supported video sites. I'll just let you know. And yeah, it'll also give you like suggestions of like what videos to watch and stuff. But yeah, and also this is something that I personally wouldn't worry about. Like, I never had to focus on that, and generally my connection with Chinese has been alright so far. If I ever have a question, I'll just watch a video online about it. I won't be going through the interface doing like the Mandarin course or whatever, because they do have like a course that like comes up in the what is it, like the memory, like it'll come up like here if you add a course, see, add Migaku course, and like there's all this stuff, but I don't need to do that personally, because yeah, there's no personal connection. The whole point of doing this, the whole point of creating your own flashcards, is because you have that personal connection. You were there, you witnessed it in real time. You know, that's the best thing you can do as well when acquiring new information, when actually just choosing to create a flashcard, is to make it personal. And more often than not, because you've actually engaged in that, that just inherently will be more memorable and stick out to you over having it pre-made from some fucking random Anki deck. Like, if you're using Anki as your current flashcard software, if you're using flashcard software at all, or you're just having the course create it for you. Personally, I don't like doing that. I'd just rather come across it in my own immersion journey. And I'm sure you would as well after hearing this, because it's less finicky. You know, you just only have to worry about the immersion, creating flashcards, doing the flashcards. If you're struggling, watch some fucking grammar videos and shit. It's really as simple as that. And then at least for the beginner phase, that's you sorted. Maybe in the intermediate, that's when you'd probably want to be transitioning slightly over to output, whether that be texting. Typing practice is also a really good thing. I was doing that in Thai, and it helped me connect to typing in Thai, because that's something that I'll start doing even though it's only been like 2-3 months of me studying the language. Again, like I feel like I'm already at that level and where I can do that to just, yeah, once again expound upon the knowledge that I've already acquired. Like, and it's really exciting, honestly, to speak from being at that level. And I still theoretically am at that level with Japanese. I just don't have too much interest in the language. That's also not super relevant, so I won't go into details like why. But yeah, like even when I got to that level in that language, and that language is fucking like, bro, trust me, you have to watch like a fucking 1 grammar video for like every piece of immersion content. Stuff is just really confusing in Japanese, at least for my experience. It's just really logically different and structured completely different, even from the other Southeast Asian languages, except for, I believe, Korean. Like getting to that level and where I was texting native Japanese speakers was like super exciting for me. So that's just another thing to look forward to. It depends on your goals at the end of the day and what you want to get done with language acquisition, with language immersion. But it's such like an enjoyable thing, man. Honestly, just speaking from experience and going forward from this point, I'm so excited to keep furthering my knowledge in Thai, using it more. I have the opportunity to use it day, very fortunately. And yeah, but like you don't have to worry about output too much as a beginner. That's basically what I'm saying. It's more of like a intermediate advanced thing, I'd say. And wait, if it resonates, if you want to screw around with it, you can. Definitely by the advanced phase, you'd probably want to just be basically like texting or something first. I feel like that's a really good way to just get you started in like thinking in the language and being able to sit with those thoughts and express yourself on that level first. Okay, so this is post-production arc again, and I just wanted to give a bit of a disclaimer. My brother walked past as I was recording this exact moment, and you can probably see by my reaction, yeah, he didn't make the best sound to listen to, so I'm just cutting out this whole audio segment. Was basically just me getting distracted by that and coming back to the topic at hand. Okay, let's get back to the topic. Yeah, so once you get to that phase of output, or, you know, output sounds cool to you, my suggestion, at least for what I'm doing, and guess what, I'm not like super versed in that, so take what I have to say with a grain of salt. Like, I'm not at that level of fluency and where I can be like, okay, well, this is what you have to do for every phase. I'm theoretically only just repeated the beginner step phase with like just a bunch of different other languages, and it seemed to have worked consistently in this exact way. So this is something that I feel like I'm more like personally connected to than, you know, being at that intermediate phase and then worrying about output, worrying about texting. But it's just like generally having those ideas in mind. If you want to, you can also do like you can search up like type trainer. For me, I search up in Thai and then I just change my keyboard to the Thai settings and I'll get a feel for where everything is. And I was doing that for about 3 days, and I think I can still remember where a lot of the letters of the Thai alphabet are on the keyboard. And guess what? There's a fuck ton. That's a whole completely unrelated topic, but yeah, like if you always want to practice that, you definitely can at that stage. Speaking wise, yeah, if that resonates as well, do it. But if it feels too stressful, don't do it. You know, you don't have to force yourself into that position. Yeah, it's more comfortable to just immerse, and acquire how pronunciation is used, acquire how certain like grammar concepts and like vocabulary come up and in those different contexts and how it's used before like really trying to focus completely on output, because yeah, like I said, it's an intermediate to advanced stage thing, and I don't think I've covered it before in my videos. I don't think I've talked about output, maybe a little bit yesterday, but actually no, I haven't released a video since 2 days ago. God damn it. Irrelevant. Yeah, that's all I have to showcase for Migaku. I really hope that I don't get fucking copyright strike just because of like the Peppa Pig shit on the side. Like I didn't play the audio, I was safe about that, except for when I went through like the flashcards and stuff. So yeah, fingers crossed. Pray for me. I'm out here trying to help you motherfuckers. I'm just kidding. Well, I am, but like, you know, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna complain. I just want to help you guys, and if that happens, it's a bit unfortunate. So yeah, that's everything I have to say today. Stay tuned for, yeah, basically another video. Tomorrow I'll be trying to record every day to just share my knowledge on language acquisition, language immersion. And I won't put it in the description yet, but very soon I will start opening up for language acquisition coaching, just in case anyone needs that one-on-one, and that's what it'll be. It'll be one-to-one coaching. I'll start off with that. So yeah, if any of you, like if the videos aren't helpful enough, if you need that extra help on top, you know, you can have that experience with me one-on-one. I still gotta like plan about that because I'm new to business. I'm new to all this stuff. In all honesty, I just want to help you guys. That's the main idea. If I can do that through free content first, really happy. But if you still need that added help, I will have that paid support coming soon in future. But until then, I will disclaim that when like the coaching's officially established, and you know, I'm open for that. Anyways, hope you have a good day. This has been Ark Languages, however you want to call me. I'll check you out in another. Okay, I won't check you out, but catch you in another fucking video. Holy shit.